The evolution of trail names.
Trail names.
Trail names.
How did they come about?
How did ours come about?
That's a good question.
So we have a lot of fun with trail names. Some people for sure believe that you should not have a trail name until you have been on the trail and someone names you. But that is easier for thru hikers who are around the same people over and over, and then somehow either your habits or your hobbies,
The way you look,
what you wear,
the way you smell.
and somebody gives you a trail name, and it's not always the best trail name. Apparently you don't have to accept it, but I think it's really not up to you sometimes. But when you're section hikers, I mean, I'm around Fick, and Fick is around me.
Sundial.
So we started with trail names 10 years ago when we first did our Maryland section hike, and we got to Harper's Ferry, and we went to the ATC Conservancy, and they said, yeah, of course you can sign the book. You just did a section hike of the AT. And so we signed the book, and we were like, geez, what should we put? So I chose Tri Girl at the time because of all the triathlons that I and we do.
And growing up, my last name is Mooney, so everybody called me and my brothers Moondog, so mine was Moondog.
There you go. So we didn't really do much with them other than that. We would kind of laugh about them between the two of us. But again, when you're section hiking and you're not doing it as frequently as we did once 2020 hit, you don't use them that much. But in 2020, we started hiking constantly. So we started using them more and got more comfortable, met more thru hikers. And so now we definitely do tend to introduce ourselves with our trail names when we're around somebody that we know kind of understands that the AT is popular for trail names. So we started with Moondog's trail name, and it evolved.
So for my trail name, Sundial does all the planning for our hikes, and for the most part, I'm too busy at work. I don't have that much time. Honestly, maybe not as interested as she is with doing all the reading that she's doing. Watching people on the trail through YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. But not knowing where we were always starting, how far we were going, I would know what state we were going to, of course. So,
Sometimes.
Every time on the trail, somebody would ask me a question. Hey, where'd you guys start from? And I'd be like, fuck if I know. So, you're not going to say that every time. G-rated, we like to keep it, so we shorten it up to F-I-I-K for Fick. So that's how mine came around, just not exactly knowing where we're going or what kind of shoes I was wearing, what my backpack was, even what we packed for lunch or dinner, right? I had no idea. So, but I love the trail, love the hike, and so perfect trail name.
It definitely fits him, and when we tell people what it is, we get a lot of laughs for sure. It worries me a little bit that if I'm ever the one that slips, falls, hits my head on a rock, and I'm out, and he calls 911 and they say, "Where are you guys?" He's gonna say, "Fuck if I know."
So I know exactly who you are.
That's a little worrisome.
I do have gut hooks, so we'll be good.
So I stayed as Tri Girl for the beginning of even 2021, and then I don't know, a couple months ago, I guess. Every time that Fick would ask me, "What time is it?" I never had to look at my watch, and that goes back to all the planning I did. So I could glance at my Garmin and see how many miles we had gone and what pace we were going, and from that I could pretty much estimate what time it was. And so every time he asked, and I would say, 1:35, and I'd typically
kind of game, right?
Yeah, and typically I'm within 5 minutes most often. So one day when I answered him that way, he said,
"Damn, Sundial, you're right on."
So we just kind of decided that because our triathlon career is kind of winding down, and we're so interested in hiking the trail, and I do certainly love sunset and sunrise, that Sundial was more fun. It fit. So there you go. So when you watch our videos, if you know something about the AT, of course you know that there are trail names. I really think it is up to the individual whether or not they feel that you should wait for someone to give you a trail name or whether you can choose your own trail name. They say hike your own hike, and the trail is whatever you want to make out of it. So we have a lot of fun with the trail names. So even though we did give them to each other, I'm comfortable introducing myself as Sundial.
Yep. Yeah. And if you have any questions, and you put them in, put them to the video, make sure you address them to Sundial.
Because you will get an answer from Fick that you can imagine. But yeah, if you happen to watch the video, please share what some of your trail names are, because it's a ton of fun for us to hear the evolution of trail name. You can certainly share if you like what your opinion is on whether you have to earn your trail name out on the trail. I mean, we do feel like we've earned it. We're out here a lot, but typically it's the two of us, or we're in passing with people that we don't spend enough time with that they'd give us a trail name. Anyway, hopefully that clears it up from a earlier video where he was calling me Tri-Girl and then all of a sudden it was Sundial. And I know for a bunch of my friends who were like, why are you guys calling each other names beside your real names?
Besides asshole.
All right, enjoy your day. Hopefully you're enjoying this amazing weekend. And we got an overnight out here in Pennsylvania, trying to get Pennsylvania done before the snakes come out.
Maybe 4 or 5 more days.
Yeah, probably a couple more weekends. So, all right, enjoy.